Hello Rise of Kingdoms community, this is GOSU. Today I wanted to talk about the Commander Swap event that's planned to come later this week. Lilith uh, has provided us with the full details of what it's gonna be like on their YouTube, so please check that out for their full details and information about this event. But I do believe that this is a great event for all players of all ages, and especially for those who are early in their career in Rise of Kingdoms. And I think this is, one of those events that you have to make a crucial and very important decision, because I do not think this kind of event will come very often. So I just wanted to kind of go over my thoughts and my recommendations as to what commanders you should swap for. So I'm gonna provide the list on the screen to your right. So basically I have only 5 commanders to choose from. You shouldn't even think about anything else really. And I'll just kind of go over each character one by one. Okay, so on their video, a goose said the Arthur Pendragon that's coming up for cavalry is gonna be available. I think that should be your utmost top priority, even if you're not a cav main, because I think in KVKs where there's like an artifact, you're gonna be able to use Arthur behind the Luce or some other commanders. It's gonna be very strong, and I do think you should run at least one cav march in your arsenal, even if you are an infantry or archer main, because Arthur is gonna be kind of broken in my opinion. It's basically like a Luce of cavalry, except maybe a little stronger. So I think the S tier at the top is the Arthur Pendragon. It's an absolute must for cav mains, obviously. But if you're not a cav main and you're not interested in any cavalry commanders, then you can go down to the other tier below. So as far as the A plus tier, in my opinion, is the Philip II. I do think that this commander is very essential for you as well as your kingdom during KVK, because not only does it give good stats on your march, but it also has a buffing mechanism and a debuffing mechanism. So I do believe that the more Philip that you have in your kingdom in a murder ball, the better that you guys are gonna do. And I don't know, like his stats are pretty good too. Like I'm an infantry main, so like a 35% defense, and if I only use infantry, there's gonna be a 30% more damage bonus, and that's kind of good. And especially if you have, the armament with the boost mechanism, like let me show it to you. Like, so this is basically 30% flat damage bonus, but if you have, armaments like what I have, you're gonna get even more effect from this. So like, for example, the Fearless gives 8% boost to normal damage dealt. So Philip is giving 30% boost to your damage, including the normal damage, and 30% times 8% boost. You're gonna get that from that skill. So that's like, 2.4% extra, all like like damage, normal damage from that skill. And also there's some other ways you get the boost. I think for destructive, like you get 3.5% normal damage boost. So I have 8 and then the 3.5%, and so that's basically 11.5% more normal damage that I can get from the skill. So I think the Philip is gonna be decent. Pair it with a Luce even on the open field. So I think I'm gonna go for Philip as a first or second choice in this commander swap. It's just overall very flexible, very versatile commander, and I think it's gonna be good in like all kind of situations, like in a murder ball or like skirmishes or Ark of Osiris or everything. So I think Philip is definitely the second best choice that you can go for, and the third choice, second in the A plus tier, is the Luce. The Luce is just basically the most broken commander that Lilith has released by far. Not only it has like a AoE, it has a lot of other skills that are just good in the field. It's also very good for cheeseburgering and everything. So, and it's by far the best commander that Infantry has. So if you don't have any sculptures on Luce, I think the Luce is up there, top 3 choice to get right now. Only reason that the Luce is not the number 1 choice that I'm gonna say is because it's kind of getting outdated, and then the newer Infantry commander is coming. So if you're not an Infantry main per se, you may want to wait for the next cycle and go for other commanders. But if you're an Infantry main, you still do not have Luce, which doesn't make that much sense, but if you don't have any sculptures on the Luce, I would go for it. And my A tier, there's one commander in A tier, which is a Ragnarok Prime. So I do not think the Ragnarok Prime is better than Luce. So, but I do think it's a second best infantry commander after the Luce. So, and it is the latest infantry commander. So if you are planning to run 2 infantry marches, I think Ragnarok Prime can definitely be a consideration. So personally, I do not have Philip Ragnar Prime, nor will I have Arthur at the time of release. So I plan to max 2 out of 3 that I listed, but I'm still thinking about it. I'll probably go for Arthur and Philip, because while Ragnar is great, the Guan with the museum buff is pretty decent. So I think I'll probably go for Arthur and Philip personally. And my last tier is Gonzalo the Cordova. This one I'm kinda a little bit hesitant to recommend, but the Cordova is by far the best siege commander. It is an absolute requirement if you wanna go for siege. So if you are planning on going siege, all other commanders are kinda ancillary in nature. They're not the core of siege mechanic. The Gonzalo is where you need, like, Gonzalo is basically Luce of siege commanders right now. So if you are interested in siege, you didn't have opportunity to do so, and you want to go for it, Um, I would not recommend, but the Cordoba is the choice to go if you want to run siege. So basically these 5 commanders are probably the only commanders that you should look into when you're doing commander swapping. All other ones, I've looked at them, not that impressive. Like there's no other commander that I can think of that you should swap for. And let me know down in comments if you think otherwise. I think this list is pretty accurate. For most players, they should just go for Arthur as a top choice and then Philip as a second choice. And Luce, Ragnar, and Gonzalo, kind of situational depending on your preference, but they're okay choices. So I just wanted to briefly make this video so that you guys are informed and do not make a mistake of choosing, you know, bad commanders for the commander swap event, because it's gonna be rare. Okay. Alright, if you found this video informative, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to go for the 1000 subscribers, so thanks a lot.